Hello, and welcome to another build by a one-handed watchmaker. That's me. Today I'm working on a Rolex Explorer mod using Seiko parts and some others that I obtained on AliExpress. Made a couple of choices on this build that I hoped would make it a little special and unique. Well, we'll see. It turned out pretty well. To begin with, I chose a green Explorer style face, Seiko branded. I've never seen this color of green before, certainly not on a Rolex, though I may just be ill-informed in that regard. But I liked this particular color. Added a little flair to an otherwise very straightforward and conservative design. For this one, I also chose Tudor style hands. They're a little more straightforward than the Mercedes hands that the Rolex might come with. And again, despite the more flamboyant color of the dial, I wanted something that could be a little more conservative and understated. I'm not sure I succeeded in that regard. Of course, the first step is to apply the face and then the hands. And being short a finger and some use of my right hand, this is always a bit of a test. I've sped up the video here to spare you some of the frustration that I often encounter in this process. This one came together pretty well. The hour hand, of course, goes on really easily, and the minute hand slightly less so. After applying the minute and the hour hands, I think it's a good idea to turn the hands through a 24-hour cycle on the dial just to ensure that they don't hang up on any of the applied markers. So you can enjoy as the hands move around the dial a full time. Yes, exciting for me as I hope it was for you. These seem to work pretty well, so I moved on to the next step, the most exasperating of all steps, the application of the seconds hand. This never works for me. I have tried many different techniques and have found patience to be the only one that really works. I will say that as I've completed some more builds like this, I have been less likely to walk away in the middle of the process to return later after I've cooled down a bit. And this is an example of that. It may have taken me 15 minutes of exasperation to get it on appropriately, but once I did, the mechanism with the face and the Tudor style hands had come together pretty well. The dial picked up a little bit of dust, so I'll clean that off. And now it's time to place the case on the mechanism, the movement. And here I found with some of these AliExpress cases some frustration with cheap plastic movement holders. Um, Clearly, this one frustrated me to blurriness. While they're obviously necessary to get different movements into uh, this type of case, they are very poorly made and are sometimes difficult to fit properly. This one took me a few minutes less than to put the second hand on, but probably longer than is very interesting to watch. I appreciate your patience then. And having done all that, it's time to insert the winding stem. Yet another frustrating part of the process. I have spared you for the purposes of this video the multiple cuts and trimming and sanding necessary to get it to the right length, and in simply showing its installation having done all that. I really like this movement. They are expensive on AliExpress, roughly double the price of a stock NH35 movement, but through the back of this see-through case, the gold rotor and machined main bridge plate look really sharp, certainly better than the somewhat boring standard NH35 movement. A lot of effort, I know, for a part of the watch that really the back of my wrist only sees, but I wanted to make this watch a keeper. That meant putting it together as nicely as I can. I wonder why. Now, of course, I've taken the band that comes with this particular case. The case is advertised as being made of 904 stainless steel, which is the type of stainless steel that Rolex uses, softer than the 316 stainless steel that most cases are made from. Apparently, it's more readily polished to a higher luster. And of course, with a tool watch, you want a highly polished luster. It, of course, also picks up scratches as easily as it picks up a shine, but we'll worry about that at another time. As you can see here, I am, as always, frustrated putting the bracelet onto a watch like this. Really not sure why it is such a frustrating task for me, but I'm willing to accept that as part of the frustration of choosing to do things that one-handed people might not otherwise usually do. Eventually, this bracelet comes on pretty well, and once it's sized, it looks really nice with the polished center links and the Rolex style clasp. Perhaps it is that I need another hand, or one that works properly. Well, you get the idea. And here's the finished product. And as I said, this one turned out really well. So this one looks great. In the end, I think it's probably a little flashier than something I'm going to wear, so it's up for sale. But it was fun to build, and I think it turned out really well. And thank you for watching. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them in the comments section, and please think about liking and subscribing because, well, otherwise I feel like I'm just talking to myself. Thank you.